Okay, I hope everything works, and I think I'm not late because I'm exactly at the time. Hello, can you hear me? And the second question is, can you hear the music loud enough? Or maybe it's too loud, or maybe it's not loud enough, or maybe you don't hear it. Just say it, I will try to make sure that it works. So yeah. Okay, we hear you. That's great. That's one of the best things that I have ever heard. And how about the music? Do you hear it or is it too low? I were 5 seconds late. Okay, and what about music? Because it's an important topic, whether music works or maybe it doesn't. Aha, okay, so you can't hear the music. Well, you don't hear the music. Oh my god. Okay, sure. Okay, maybe we'll change it here. Okay, and now? Is it better? I hope it is. And I will open chat. Sure. So, can the music be heard or can it not? Because on my screen it shows that it should be working. No, you can't. Okay. A little bit. Okay. And now, is it like better? Because like I don't want it to be too loud and I don't want it to be not loud enough. I guess that's what I could say. You know, no, people can't hear the music. Okay, that's weird because some people apparently can hear it, but some can't. And someone says perfect. And yes, I think it started to welcome everyone here. So let's start from the top, I guess. So who do we have here? There is Fane, who is our moderator on YouTube from now on, so that's great. That's a lovely promotion, and welcome, Fane. We have Oki, we have Canadian Goose, that's great. We have Birini, nice to see you, man. We have Mr. No, I don't want to butcher that name, but Mr. with a nice rainbow parrot on the profile picture, and that, I really much welcome you, and maybe you can send me how to read your name. That would be really nice. We will also welcome Zuf if he is still here. If not, well, we still welcome him. Mr. Folder, Mr. Jerun, and who do we have here? Mr. Wieprz. Oh, that's a Polish name. Mr. Rowe and Mr. Lars, Mr. Just Another Guy, and Mr. Xero. Okay, and this will be like a public answer. Yes, Mr. Xero, we can go for pizza tomorrow when I'm home, okay? Yeah. And I will send everyone a photo from that pizza. And also, welcome Mr. Elegancka Kaczka and Mr. Człowiek. Oh, that's a lot of people actually. I don't know how many people are here tonight with me, but yeah, I think it's enough for me to say that I'm quite famous in the Pavilion Zoo community. So yes, let me just set a few more things before I actually start, because I'm now using OBS, which I didn't use the last time I was streaming because I was using the Twitch studio, which was way easier for me to understand, and this is my first YouTube stream, so please forgive me if I do any mistakes, but I think I should be alright. I hope so, at least. Oh, according to my chitty chat, there are 90 people here. Nice. So, what are we going to actually do tonight? Or maybe, yeah, tonight, I guess. For many of you it will be tonight, for some of you it might be morning if you live in Australia or something, maybe. No, in USA I think it's afternoon. Okay, Mr. Shiro, we will see each other in Osteria tomorrow, and that's nice. We'll see each other. So, a quick... Okay, I'm so confused what's happening right now, but, well, let's talk about the purpose of today's stream. So, today's stream is the start of a new live stream series, which will be very easy for me to run, because they are live streams and I don't need to build and record in advance. So, it will be an easy moment for me to interact with you and build, and you can witness it with your own eyes. So that's actually amazing. And this little series is called the Mane-sion, because, you know, maned wolves and then a mansion, and if you merge them together we get a mansion. And this series will focus on building an enclosure for maned wolves from the new, maybe not new, but for me it's still new, Grasslands Animal Pack. And we will try to make it as photorealistic as we can, because from some time I don't call my builds realistic, no, they are photorealistic, and I will start calling them realistic once I get my degree in architecture. And by the way, here I need to stress a little issue why I wasn't here and why I wasn't recording and why I wasn't streaming and why there is no Valbicity Zoo. Well, because I was finishing my first term on studies, on architecture studies, and I finished it. So it's actually great that I'm alive. And now I have 3 weeks of free time, which I can spend on Pavilion Zoo making content and also private stuff, which I hope you can understand. My god. Mr. Sticky Glue is also here. Okay, all the good friends. Yeah, and today we will be building, I hope, but first we are going to decide on what we will be building. So, I actually did... oh, you only want PZ stuff. Okay, I'm sorry, but we are going to do a slideshow with my sketches. I'm so sorry that you will need to see that, but okay, we'll live with that. So, yes, what I wanted to show you, my PowerPoint, but it's not PowerPoint, as you can see my screen, but now we can go to PowerPoint and boom, we are here in PowerPoint. How amazing! I hope you can see the things that are happening on the screen right now with the PowerPoint thingy. I'm actually going to get the chat on my phone as I don't have 2 screens. Okay, can you see the PowerPoint slideshow? I hope you can. I will see it myself. Oh, okay, you can, because I can see it on my screen. So these are sketches and they are shitty. I know, but they were done 20 minutes before the stream because I actually forgot about doing them, and they were made in last minute, so they are quite basic in terms, but they illustrate the idea. And once again, I encourage all of you to do quick sketches. Quick sketches are the best, they sell the idea the most, and you can really put your thought onto paper and then use it later. So that's actually great to sketch. And here are the sketches for the first idea I have for the Mane-sion, so the enclosure for maned wolves, and it is a very simple enclosure. Why is it so simple? Well, because it's just an old wooden building which is probably 60-70 years old, that has one window for guests to view the inside, which will be also very ordinary, very utilitarian, very backstagey in design. And then we'll have a very basic open field for our 2 maned wolves, who will be called Sofia and Eduardo. Or Jose, I'm not sure yet, and it will be surrounded with barriers and other things. And this is like, if you have seen the graphic that I posted, this is the Sofia way, so more of a rural, old-styled place that doesn't necessarily share space with other species. It's just an old wooden building with a nice backyard. Yeah, That's the first thought of mine. And if we decide on this one, we decide on shorter stream series because it will be easier for me to build than the second alternative that I will propose in a moment, or suggest maybe. Yet we'll make sure to make it as nice as we can and as photorealistic, so despite it being an old wooden building, we'll also add nice additions to it. Additions, well, it's a battery butter, as we would call it in Polish, but yeah, so all I said, yeah, we will have a nice gazebo or pergola, however you call that, attached to the building. As you can see on the first sketch, in the left top corner you can see very briefly that pergola attached, and it will make sure that the building is in is one with foliage, which is a common trick to use in city zoos when you have an old building and either it's a concrete building or maybe it's a wooden building. Use plants to cover some issues by adding plants and cover the old building. So that's what I thought, to make like a tunnel in this pergola style, which will also allow shade to be put on the window, so you can very clearly see what's inside the enclosure, like inside the indoor area, because shade will help you see through glass. That's also a basic physics law. And yes, and the another thing I want to do, if we go with the first type of enclosure, so very basic, very city zoo-ish kind of enclosure, I want to do my portal concept. Maybe it's not my concept, but I call it the portal concept. So imagine an enclosure with a very solid fence, in this case a log fence, with a place that is a little refugee. You have a little window surrounded by three walls, and you have a bench. And when you sit on this bench, you can see through this window what's happening inside the enclosure. But the surrounding walls make you only look through this window. Make you only focus on what's inside the enclosure, so the main wolves themselves. And this trick I think would be nice because in a city zoo location we could raise a terrain slightly more outside the window, make like what you can see from the window like our main scene, theme it slightly, and leave the rest of the enclosure untouched, like very natural grass, maybe few trees and bushes. So that's my portal concept, like a little refugee, like a little off-show, maybe not off-show, but like a little off a beaten track location to experience the whole zoo. And then we have then I also thought about making more windows in this fence, and these windows would be like covered with ropes, so you will have ropes attached to the top of the window, so main wolves don't see you all that much, but you still see them through the ropes. And why do we do that? Well, from my experience, I don't really see main wolves in enclosures, and my first deduction was that they are shy, and then I read that they are pretty confident when it comes to humans, but they are nocturnal partially and crepuscular, or however you call that. But yet I want these ropes because I imagine these ropes and I would love to have the ropes. Okay, well, I need to catch on the stream. That's a lovely sketch. Oh, neat. Oh, this is a whole scheme. Pro leader move. You did all that in 20 minutes. Yes, I did, because I didn't have more time. Leśna ostoja, definitely. Physics, yes. Yeah, and there is one comment from Oro that you want to see how I design. Well, these streams will be a perfect opportunity to do that, and if you can't attend the streams, they will be out there to be watched by you if you don't want to. Came for Planet Zoo. I'm looking at a sketch. Forgot I was looking at Leader Planet Zoo stream. Yeah, that's yes. Okay, that's a yes. So the portal concept, and we discussed the first subject. So the Sophia enclosure, like the wolf that wants a rural enclosure, and then we go to more of an Eduardo's dream. So Eduardo is the more confident, more joyful, more of a daydreamer kind of a main wolf, and he wants to live with neighbors. So I thought about a building that will be like this hall, maybe a hallway with animals, and it will present fauna and flora from South America, and that also touches the main wolf subject. Yes, main wolf subject, because they are from South America, and this building will be kept in my imagination in classic style. I want something maybe Doric when it comes to columns, with nice architraves and nice cornices. Nice cornice, maybe I don't want to make it more than one. And then we would focus in this building very much on structure and on elegance, and we would make inside of this place like a hallway with indoor exhibits, and it will be a great chance for us to build for other animals we haven't built for from South America, like nine-butted armadillo or capybara. Maybe we'll see what animals we can fit in there. We'll discuss it if we decide on this one. And if we decide on this type of building, we will yeah, wait, I lost the word. We'll have a longer live stream series, because this building will for sure take us longer time. Do we want a copper roof? I was thinking about that, but for now I decided on a grey metal plank roof, or maybe not metal plank but metal roof, metal ridged roof, but it will all come in the design process, as I haven't really sketched out this building yet. Yeah, I will look into old Portuguese lord houses in Braille or maybe Brazil. I will think about those. But then I want this building to be like classic, but not necessarily built as for the South America house, but I would like it to be like an older building that was in a zoo for many years now, and for many years now, and now it is being repurposed for the South America house. It was renovated, but not on a very high budget, and it will present the flora and fauna from America. And another thing I would love to focus on with this type of build would be the construction. I would really want to embrace the construction, like the construction elements, so all the glass supports, all the facades, the interior. I would go very hard on construction, which is a thing I really like about in architecture, to expose the construction and make it look nice, and at the same time make it look impressive. So this is actually an example from Wrocław Zoo. This is their terrarium. Oh, Mr. Just Goron, hello. That's great to see you here. Yeah. We don't have anything nice to show you as of yet, but well, I hope you will feel like home here. Okay, artists. Yeah, artists. I haven't really thought about artists yet. But yeah, this is actually an example from Warsaw Zoo, and I thought when we decide on this second type of building to make a free flight aviary, not maybe free flight aviary but free flight zone, and either with butterflies or with koi fish. Maybe they don't fly, but they can be in here, right? And no, the koi fish was a joke, but I thought about like birds maybe from South America, and to make it a part of the building, and then, as I said, embrace the construction, so make the glass roof nice and all. very nice reference photos. Thank you. I'm a professional photographer. No, I'm not. These are very amateur photos, but I took them recently. This one from Warsaw Zoo, I think. I believe I took it 2 days ago. So yeah, it's pretty fresh. And then we have the Wrocław Zoo Komodo dragon enclosure, and yeah, for like a hallway, I think it's a nice setup. But believe me or not, this is one enclosure. Like below the pavement, there is a tunnel for the Komodo dragons to get from one part of the enclosure to another. It's a really nice enclosure. Maybe you don't see it in the grayscale, but I really enjoy it when I'm there in Wrocław Zoo and when I see it in person. And I guess it's all. So yeah, thank you for this little lecturen. Yeah, no, I'm not good at German. And now we'll change the window, back to Planet Zoo. And actually, there are 2 things I need to do before moving on. I need to make Finny a moderator, so welcome our new superhero, Wonder Woman Finny. And the second thing I want to do is to make a survey. Eduardo's. Okay, I think it is there. Yay! There is a survey for you to take. I encourage all of you to take the survey. And as I'm seeing right now, Sofia is winning. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, it's Eduardo. No, it's Eduardo. No, it's Eduardo. Okay, Eduardo is winning. There are 10 votes in, 11 votes in. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, 13, 62 to 38. And are we still going? 14 votes, 64 to 36. Okay. 69 to 31. Okay, please change that number because no, I won't laugh. I'm a grown up. Okay, 65 to 35. Yeah, I love democracy. That's what Palpatine said in Star Wars. 17 votes in. Do we still go? Is there anyone else who wants to put a vote and maybe change the subject of these streams? Are we going with Eduardo? Are we really going with Eduardo? I will give you 10 more seconds. Sure. Eduardo's dream won, so congratulations to everyone who voted for Eduardo. I can't put a photo in, so that sucks. But yeah, it was a rather even vote. So when we'll be building and doing all that stuff, we'll see if Sofia is really happy with that change. Maybe she isn't. That would really suck. And can I take this window? Okay, so has anyone ever used OBS and wants to teach me how to use the chat? Because I have the chat and I want it in a separate window, like maybe not separate window. I want it in a separate window, but then overlaying my Planet Zoo, and I'm not sure how to do that. Well, it seems I will need to have the chat on my phone, which is not that bad if you ask me. It's rather okay-ish. And currently there are 29 people who are watching the stream. It's crazy that you guys want to spend your time watching some random Polish dude. But it's okay. We can heal you. We can heal you. There is still help for you. Okay, I'm back. I taped my my phone to my monitor, as Mr. Oki suggested. And by the way, no, I'm back. And by the way, guys, there is Mr. Jasgoron in the chat, and I hope you all know Mr. Jasgoron. And if you don't, and maybe you know him, but you don't watch his series, well, I really encourage you to see the Key Park Zoo, which is a great, also partially a house, but now he's doing this amazing Africa zone, which I also love watching whenever he posts in Brunation, which is a great project and great netting, which I admire. And actually, yeah, I recommend you to watch it and also follow okay, Saint Reginald's Zoo. I hope I said it right. Yeah, I hope so. So when there is no Valby City Zoo, or maybe there is Valby City Zoo, I really encourage you to also watch that series, because I think it's the best collab on YouTube right now when it comes to Planet Zoo. Yeah, I really like it. I really like the realism there. Cool. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fane, always moderating, the best moderator. And I can speak in English tonight. So yeah, I hope we can start building. Okay, and I can show you Zuf. Wait, he is in Europe probably. He must be the fat guy. Oh no, he is not. Okay. There is Zuf somewhere. There is Zuf somewhere. Is there Zuf? No. Oh! Okay, sure. Where is Zuf? This is loot. There should be Zuf somewhere. Where is Zuf? I'm not sure where Zuf is. How does Zuf look? Yeah, my place is full. Oh, Vikok. He's a great creator too, also. Hello, Mr. Swift. Hello, Swifty Folklore. Yes, it's me. I see you. Hello, I'm doing great. We are doing Maned Wolf Enclosure, but we are looking for Zuf currently. He's the guy with the hat. Is this Zuf? No, he's a sad guy. Which of you has a hat? This is not Zuf, though. No. Well, no, I don't see Zuf. I'm not sure what Vigoga is doing in Northern Europe, but he's more in... I don't know, UK. Okay, Zuf left the globe, but I can show you. If you are ever looking for leader is here. Like, it's somewhere around Island Nublar from Jurassic World. That's what I was aiming for. So yeah, if you ever look for leader, here I am. Okay, so we are going to actually start a new zoo, and if this thingy doesn't turn out to be successful, we will do Valby City Zoo. But I hope we can do something cool. Temperate Europe is the best because they changed the map once again, fortunately enough. And we are going for Mane-sion. Okay. Mr. Just Goron, do we have each other as friends on Planet Zoo? I would really like I would really like to have you on my globe. That's a very nice confession, and that sounded very romantic, but I want you on my globe. Okay. Okay. Sure. Settings. We are going with unlimited power, I guess. Hello, Mr. Jody Oliver. How are you doing? Guest settings? No. Economy. Yeah, you can clearly see that I haven't played the game in a while. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yeah, okay. Now we will have Mr. Just Goron on my globe. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Now I will feel famous. Okay. Well, the first thing that leader does when he starts a zoo, he very efficiently goes to the middle of the place, makes a giant short grass patch and starts building here, because we don't want to build near the borders. If we can build in the middle, it's like with pizza, you know? I don't like people who start eating pizza by cutting a triangle, you know, a very standard and boring way. And when I eat pizza, I always cut the circle in the middle and then eat the circle. Okay. What is my favorite animal in the game? Well, it's a hard pick because I don't. Yeah. Will I be a bad man if I say that I don't really play the game for the animals? Well, I think I will be. But it's a hard question. As I said, it is a hard question. I really like the new DLC animals just because they have nice textures and all. Giant wolf seems nice, although I think it's not my favorite. It's hard to say what my favorite animal. Oh no, I know what is my favorite Planet Zoo animal. So yeah, my favorite animal in Planet Zoo is obviously proboscis monkey. And you can't convince me otherwise. But if you ask me for a second favorite animal, that definitely is 100%. That definitely will be a polar bear, and you can't also convince me otherwise. We are looking for a female with good stats. Not that size does matter, but size does matter. Oh yeah, we have a 100. Marcus, and Marcus sounds like Marcus. I'm sorry. Okay, send to zoo. Okay, we will send them to zoo as long as we have keepers. No, not flamingos and not the doll ship. I'm so sorry. Okay, we have our two 100% main wolves, and this is Marcos, so our Eduardo, and here we have our Teresa, so our Sofia. And is this me, or is Sofia bigger than Marcos? No, I don't think so. Well, I haven't really looked at the animals from the Grassland Animal Pack yet, so yeah, I think it's a perfect opportunity for me to see them for the first time, because I haven't played the game in a moment. Yes, it's going to be for a zoo. Yes, it's going to be for a very independent project called the Mane-sion, which will be like a building that isn't connected to any sort of zoo. It will be just an enclosure in theory for maned wolves, but as we decided, we are doing a South America haul, which will also include other animals such as butterflies, I believe, and capybaras, I hope, and then we are going to also go with what are the little things called? Armadillos, yes. Oh, fennec fox. Well, fennec foxes are cool. As you can already know, I'm a big fan of fennec foxes because I did a research done on them, and I'm not doing research done on random animals. Well, first off, I'm not doing research done for animals at all. But yeah, fennec foxes are cool. So, yeah, I would love sloths, but we can make sloths out of, you are speaking to leader, and there's also just Goran in chat. So if I can't make it myself, I will ask Mr. Goran to do that because he's great with small pieces. We can make a sloth out of eggs. Definitely, 100% possible. It will look like an egg sloth, but it will still look like a sloth. What do I think? Oh my god, there is also Mr. Romano Pulacius. I think it's no. I I will call Mr. Romano Mr. Romano. It's great to see you here, and if you haven't touched the new pack, well, yeah, we are bros on that one. Welcome, you. Will Sofia and Eduardo have offspring? No, no, I don't like children. We need the spectacle bear in Planet Zoo. We for sure do. More animals for me not to use is a great thing. Okay, Mr. Jasgaron won't do the the custom egg sloth. Well, I think Zuf will do it because he has patience for such things. But yeah. Yeah, I remember the eel. Nice. And I don't know what the next DLC for Planet Zoo will be. That's a pretty hard question. Okay, guys, we actually need to get to building, and as I didn't really plan the whole building yet, we won't be. I need a sketchbook. Yeah, we have Sofia and Eduardo, but we need to plan the whole thing. But if we have to plan the whole thing, I need to draw it. So maybe the next stream will actually be building this, and today we'll start building details that I will for sure want to have, and I can also educate you about ancient architecture orders. And tonight we can talk about the Doric order. Oh my god, that will be such a boring stream. Nevertheless, it's my job to bore people, so maybe maybe we can do the Doric order. Well, okay, no, we'll plan, I think, sure. How big is the butterfly box? And where do I find it? Okay, this is the butterfly box. Knowing people in the chat, it can probably be made smaller in ways. In ways I don't know. Things walls? Nothing. Okay, sure. Oh, it's a nice. Okay, what is this? Is this like a concrete thingy? Floor? None. Okay. And none. Okay. Doors should stay. Sink wall and ceiling material. Sure. Mr. Just Goron, I think he recently did a tutorial on how to make these thingies not visible, which would be very much appreciated. But I'm not sure. I haven't really watched the video yet. But when I was thinking about it, like, can't you like at all change the thing? You can't like change the path at all? Oh. Yeah, that sucks. A massive... I don't want to say what. Well, I think we can cover it with vertical pieces. Let me go to my blueprint mess and see if we can cover it with vertical pieces. Yeah, as you can see, it's a mess. But it's still okay. These are the puddles. Yeah, it would kinda work, kinda. Yeah, if I have a free build, yeah, and that's that's where the stairs begin. Yeah. I was tempted to install free build, but I'm still a very much vanilla game, medieval aged kind of guy. Okay, we'll see it. Is free build really helpful? I haven't really used it yet, but I have heard many good opinions about it. Hiding is mostly nice if you want to do a path shape other than straight. Ah, sure. Well, yeah. That sucks. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm thinking, right? Because the building needs to be monumental. Okay, free build is game changing. That's good to know. That's what I wanted to hear. So we'll take our good old plaster pieces and we'll actually experiment with things. Well, maybe that's why I will install it one day. The free build. Okay. So the building. You need to research many things in order to build classic, you know. Like height is also important. Yeah, I think it would slightly falsify the frontier experience, but if the things that you mean by frontier experience is struggle to put a path on a slope, that's what I call entertainment. Yes, Mr. Amaguner, hello. To hell with the frontier experience. Yeah, I really enjoyed that comment. Sure. Okay. Well, okay, we will draw. With this. I paid money to be restricted that much. Nice. Oh my god. It's like, yeah, you know it's going to be a good time when Pro Nation joins. Okay, so the building. I was tempted to build it like Belvedere. I don't know whether you know that building. It's like a president's house in Poland, which is near the king bathrooms. That's what we call the place. It's like a giant garden with ancient temples and things which are not ancient, and they are not even 70 years old because they were bombed by Germans during World War II, but they look beautiful nevertheless. And the whole Belvedere is like this main pavilion that will probably be bigger than what I'm drawing right now, which has obviously arms, because every building has arms, and then it has these extensions which yeah, there should be bigger distance here, but well, we are going to go with that. which in the end make this sort of a shape of a half, maybe 3 3/4 of an atrium from, I don't know, a Roman house, whatever you want to set the origin for atrium, because atriums were used in Roman households, but they were also partially used in Greek households, and they were called peristyles or something like that. And then they were used in early Christian basilics, and now they are popular. But then this shape isn't really something I would go for. So I would, yeah, if I were to design this building, I would probably make, yeah, maybe first delete this sketch, if you can call it a sketch. If you can call it a sketch, I think you can't. But then maybe we can make like a one massive structure, which doesn't. Well, because it's not Romano house, but okay. Sure, but when you move to the Romano house, please send me photos. That would be very much appreciated. So yeah, I would go with a central kind of building here, with a glass roof, and this would be the butterfly. Okay, yeah, this would be the butterfly section, and then I would make probably symmetrical arm extensions, which, now let me think, if we curl them towards this side, then we can make a nice fountain here. Why everyone is calling you Romano? I think, I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but it is because of your nickname. It's Romano, who like, yeah, Romano. The first things are Romano. But if your first name is Roman, then it's very nice to meet you, because that's a Polish name. Also, like, I know a few people who are called Roman. And a little fun fact, I'm a godfather to a boy who is named Roman. Yeah, he's called Romek. Yeah, it looks like a cheering robot, doesn't it? Maybe it. But no, I don't think I want that. I was actually thinking about a fountain of some sort, or maybe a little terrace here with like nice umbrellas. Oh, now it looks more like a robot. Like, look, even diff. Romano populations. I also read it differently. I think I read it Romano Politius, something like that, which probably doesn't make any sense. But yeah. But at times it does. Oh my god, it really looks like a robot. Okay, well, never mind. Do I want this? I think I would want a cafe here, like a little cafeteria. His populations. Maybe we can make it uneven, but that's not very classic. Then it's a classic Polish zoological style to make a building like this. Yeah, and then have an entrance here. Then go through the corridors, see the animals. Then, if you don't want to go to the butterfly house, you can take a route here and see them through the window. And if you want to experience them, then you can walk through here and then walk out through here, and then go shoop, grab something at the restaurant, and well, maybe you can go in here, or maybe you can go in here. But actually, if we make it this sort of adventure, so that we have like plants here, and we make people go through here inside the building, then take the path like this, see everything, see more animals probably here. Then if we let them outside here, they will be able to see animals outside, which will elevate the experience. Yeah, thank you guys for the robot. Yeah, I'm a robot designer myself. What is my favorite bird in the world? Oh, have you not heard that the bird is the word? Wait, well, no, that was a very lame Family Guy joke. But what birds? I like storks. Yeah, I really like storks. Storks are cool. And crowned cranes, like the grey crowned cranes. So yeah, from this sketch we established that we want a central building. We want the entrance in one of the wings, which will probably be symmetrical, because that's what classic style wants. Hello, Miss Charlotte. And then we exit through here, and then we can see animals from the outside. Which, okay, now I will just justify my my decision. So, I was in Africarium once, and they had many indoor exhibitions, and if they were exhibiting animals outside, they had a viewing on them from inside. But then, if an animal was exhibited indoors, then it could be only viewed indoors, and if it was exhibited outdoors, it could have only been exhibited. It could be only seen outdoors, which and this trick made sure that you see all the animals essential, and I really like that one. And as you know, or maybe not know, in which there was recently this big happening, they opened Orientarium, and it is a similar concept to Africarium. It's a giant building filled with animals from one region, this time for like Southeast Asia, and they had like animals that could be viewed both indoors and outdoors, and that's good for the animals. But the problem there was that there wasn't one clear route. Like you went through Orientarium, through the inside, you didn't see many animals because they were actually outside, and if you wanted to see the outside animals, you need to take like additional viewing terraces which were off the road, and like didn't allow you to make this continuous experience. And I didn't take them, and that's why I didn't see species such as, I don't know, sunbears or Indian elephants, because they were outdoors, and I didn't want to go on the freaking terraces because it was middle of the winter, and I took off my jacket because I was in a warm building. So that's why I think if we want to have a classic building that was recently repurposed and that will show animals also indoors, but it will be like more like an indoor enclosure which will be a support for the outdoor enclosure, then make a route that will go through the indoor enclosures, and if you don't see an animal inside an indoor enclosure, don't worry, because you can continue a path outdoors and see this species of animal outdoors. And if you don't see them, then that means that animals is a it's not kind and went indoors when you were outdoors, if that makes sense. Okay, I hope I made perfect sense. But yeah, that's the drawing and the mind process for the place, and we are going for Doric style. Doric style. Okay. Sure. Okay. So next stream definitely we will start building for the wolves, and next stream I will probably have the floor plan for the whole thing, so we can actually start building in this place. But this first stream will actually be like a little preparation stream. I still need to get used to streaming, so pardon me if this stream isn't as exciting as you thought it will be. But there's always a but. You can have good time in chat or listen to me breaking English and slaughtering it, butchering it, whatever. Great. Okay. So I actually told you that we want to go for Doric style, and I will show you my problems with columns in Planet Zoo currently. So here we have one pillar. Okay, now will be leader being a freshman on architecture university kind of guy. Is this also a cup? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. This, I think this cup is meant to represent Doric and Tuscan or Tuscanian architecture orders, or at least caps for these columns. And as far as I'm concerned, it's quite okay. It looks like one of the caps. It's simplified, yes, but if I use this one, I would be glad to use this one. Okay, yeah, everything clear, super nice. So now we are going to a controversial part, because this is supposed to be a composite cup, and you know, it's not really that sort of a cup, because the main reason is that it doesn't look like it. The only thing that is right about it is the top. I think this thing is called abacus, so the part of the column cup that is touching the whole architrave. It's okay because it's squarish and has these little dents, like these little cuts, and these little cuts here, and this is perfect actually. This is what this column cap has, but then we have these snails. We will call them like those. In Polish we will call them voluty. They are quite okay, but in this style they are meant to represent leaves of a specific plant that grows in Greece, and there is this legend that there was a girl and there was, I think, a fallen guy or a fallen farmer who died. Okay, there were lovers, and one of them died. It was a male, obviously, because men live shorter than women. And then the girl put on his grave a basket with potatoes. Yeah, because he was a farmer. And then from this basket, leaves emerged. And these leaves, emerging from this basket, inspired an artist who drew them, and then sculpted it into a column. And that's why the composite columns have this leafy structure on them, and this leafy structure is all over the place. And we are not talking about leaves like that. We are talking about extending leaves, something in form of this snail. And like the middle part of the column is actually circular rather than squarish as in this place. So that's one flaw, and I'm not saying that if I'm going to make a composite column myself ever, it will look perfect, because it won't, as there are more than 50 versions of composite column available that were used in ancient Greece and later in ancient Rome, because the plant that in the legend grew on the from the basket um, has very many variations, and the leaves were changed, and they make like those layers. Yeah, great. So that was me about this. And this, yeah, this I'm not sure what this one is. I think that is that this one is supposed to resemble the cubic column from like the very early Roman architecture, maybe pre-Roman also. It was, I think it was used in Hildesheim. In the was it? Yeah, I think it was used in Hildesheim because there were alternating columns there, which made these sequences of squares inside, which made the rhythm. And yeah, I'm not sure what this is, but it's a Planet Zoo style, and we all need to agree that a Planet Zoo style has its own laws. So actually, a stream about wolves is going to change into a stream about columns. So, how we are going to research now the Doric columns, and Doric columns are the earliest of columns, and they were done in ancient Greece as first, as I would say that. And where you can see those, well, on Acropole you can see them. There are these gates that lead to the main Athena temple, and actually in the front part and like all around there are Doric columns, but inside there are Ionic columns, because orders of ancient Greece stated that there need to be one order outside, but inside you can actually use other columns. And in the Pavilion itself there are Ionic columns inside, which is also pretty nice. And okay, so Doric columns are the smallest of the bunch. They come from 6 to 12 modules, if I remember correctly. And what is a module? Well, yeah, there's a lot to explain, I guess, but I guess I have time. I think I do. So let me theoretically say that we are having a Doric column like that. Yeah, it should be okay. What Doric columns had especially? Well, they had one thing, and they had modules from 6 to 12 modules. And how do you count a module? Well, if you make it like this, the module is the radius of the base of the column. This is module, and then when you take this radius, which will go with limestone brackets probably, and it will be kinda perfect, because yeah, they are kinda perfect for these things. Okay, let's say that this will be our module. Okay, then you take the module, sure, and then yeah, it should be slightly taller. And then you make a column out of modules. 2, 4, 8, 12 modules. So that would be modules of the column. But actually Doric columns had these how did we go from wolves to columns? Well, because we are using Doric columns in the building for the wolves. Okay, now more about Doric columns. Yes, that's great. So actually, Doric columns have also one more thing that is pretty that has that have why it doesn't okay have one more nice thing about them. So at apparently at 1/3 of their height, they have this little extension. Maybe mine is too sharp, but Doric columns were constructed in a way. Go away. In a way that allowed them to look, yeah, not like this. This is too thick, but you get the idea. At 1/3 of the height, there was entasis, which was like the extension point, and to this point, the column was gaining like the weight, maybe. And after it reached entasis, it was straight to the down, straight down. And what this allowed Greeks was that the Greeks were able to make their temples look more solid. They tended to look more monumental, and it was an illusion that from a distance the temple looked even. Yeah. It doesn't make that much sense, but apparently it works in Greece, so yeah, it is a beautiful marble bottle, but I hope you get the idea. And yeah, oh my god, it's Mr. Haribo. Wow, so many cool people, and then I'm streaming how to make a column. And I feel ashamed of what I built. But well, sometimes you need to live with it. And sometimes you need to explain what a Doric column is. Thank you all. I know it's a beautiful column, but I'm not. But we are going more in depth with Doric columns. So Doric columns had one more thing. I mean, all columns in ancient Greece had those. They had these little cuts in them. We'll take the stone tree. And I believe they had from 16 to 24 of them. And the columns, how are they called? Yeah, the Doric columns. So yeah, oh, thank you guys for the words of support. So another thing about, yeah, I will color it red for you to see what I'm going for. Okay, red. Sure. And okay. So they had these little cuts in them, like that. And they had from 16 to 24 of them. And they weren't red. They were this stone color in most cases. Although Greek temples were colorful, they used polychromia to make them colorful. And I'm talking about yellow, reds and blues. And one more fun fact, Notre Dame and other Gothic and Roman temples were also colorful. There is this one temple, not temples, churches. There is one church somewhere in France or Germany, which during the night is lit up with these nice LED lights, and it lights up the little sculptures that are on the facade of the church with like different colors. From it's mostly green, red, blue, and yellow, and it shows how it looked during the medieval times. Oh my god, it's also Christina. Oh, ho, ho. Wow, nice. Yeah, hello. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that, but Haribo and Christina, congratulations. When I saw this message, I was like really uplifted, and I couldn't believe that something like that happened in the community, but I'm so happy for you, and yeah, it's an amazing moment. I feel. Oh yeah, the previous stream. Well, the previous stream wasn't that nice, and this stream won't be that nice either. But we are talking about the rules of Doric columns, which I learned during my uni. So we are just flexing with Warsaw in Warsaw University of Technology style. Oh my god. Yeah, sure. So yeah, they had these little things, and columns were constructed from modules, and and each module was mounted individually. So you had probably it was. I was told that it was either a wooden or a metal pole that was round, and it was inside the column, and then you would put a module on top of a module, and then a module would have this little cut inside, and then you would put one module, then you would put another module, and another module, and another module, and another module, and that's how Greeks built their columns. And in the back there is a maned wolf, because apparently they are from Greece and they need Doric order to thrive in the European environment. So yeah. Yeah, okay. We talked about columns, and we don't have much more to show. So I would suggest one thing. To not make this stream too boring, and to make this a true Planet Zoo building stream, I will switch to another park file to build in it, and we'll have a good time, and we'll come back to Mane-sion soon. So we'll call it Mane-sion, then load where is it? Backstage opportunity. I hope you will like this one, because this is a project that has been missing for some time, and I think it's going to be an anniversary soon. So I don't know whether you can guess what project it is, but I think I can guess what project it is. We are going to build now in Desert Pavilion, and I think it's going to be a nice experience for us all. Definitely nothing wrong with that, sure. So yeah, we are here in the Desert Pavilion, and for everyone that doesn't know, the Desert Pavilion, it's a little project of mine. We are going to go with this, with the rain, because I like this project in rain. And this is like a little, how to describe the Desert Pavilion. It's a project, that's for sure. It's an old styled building set in Poland that mimics the communist style of building. That is an old building that exhibits fauna and flora of the desert, and as you can see, we have the scimitar horned oryx and the dromedary camel, no, backstrand camel. Oh, really? It inspired you? Wow, that's actually great. And in the last episode that you have seen on the channel, there was only this part of the Desert Pavilion, so the Fennec Fox enclosure. Yeah, Fodder, that's a nice flex. But now we have more, and now we have the start of the camel enclosure here, and we have the camel indoor part. We also have the start of the meerkat enclosure, which looks like a pit with rock, but it's going to be fixed. And we have a rather nice start on the scimitar horned oryx enclosure, which is also great. And what originates from this build, other than the Research Done series, we have also done the custom paddles technique, actually exclusively for the Desert Pavilion. And yes, I'm still pretty proud of this technique because it kinda looks like paddles if you look at them closely. Hello, Mr. White. Is this Walter White? Okay, and now we will switch off the rain and we'll get to building. So, with this enclosure, actually you shouldn't be here. Aha, okay, I can't move you. Nice. What do we have in Desert Pavilion? We have this camel enclosure, which, as you can see, camels do not really need a big barrier separating them from the guests, so I went for a simple mesh. And for the rocks, and then I made the secondary barrier for the guests, so they can't reach the camels. But I'm still thinking about this place, if this looks alright. I mean, in some part it does look alright, but then it doesn't look very communist in a way, because this is like a pit, yeah, like a pit with sand, and it is separated by these planks, so this sand doesn't really go out, but as you can see, it merges with the ground that is in the rest of the enclosure. But now I was thinking more about making it a concrete base with a very shallow moat, and maybe using a part of this moat as the place for the sand to be in, actually, and make it more old styled. But I'm still not sure what to feel about that. Then we have the chunky camel. There will be it will be masked here, no problem. I'm still thinking about the fence, but I'm going to probably stay with the wooden one and delete this part because I don't want the mesh to be in here. Here are the open doors, which we can now, with the new glass panels, we can actually make them work, which wasn't possible before, because when I was building the Pavilion there weren't such goodies as these panels. Yeah, we'll go with 1x4. He is called Eduardo. And we will actually start building that enclosure. I'm afraid it will be on the next stream, so when will it be? Oh, there is 1x2. I think that will be very soon. I feel like next Monday will be the next stream date for me, and then I will have the whole building plan. I will have a whole week to make the floor plan for the place, and then we can actually start building Eduardo's dream enclosure and see if Sofia agrees on living there. But as you can see, the Desert Pavilion, I made this cool combo. We have this steel scaffolding here, which goes through the whole place, and then you have planks mounted to it. You have ordinary mud walls here, but then they are also covered with planks that are Also put on scaffoldings, as you can see, like these little supports, maybe supporting planks, which is also a nice trick. Then we have the entrance towards the quarters, which will look rather nice when they are finished. And yeah, the same trick will go for the other side. We'll have something very similar. Here will be the entrance towards the meerkat enclosure. Here is the backside for the scimitar horned oryx. We have supports to make the gate operate nicely. We have thatch mats. Okay. Yes. Yes, sure. We have thatch mats that block the view, and I think that I will put other type of animal there, something like emu that doesn't really suit the zone, but we'll go for it. We have these planks here, and why do we have them here? Because here we have these barriers that prevent animals from jumping, and when we can't have a barrier, we have planks to make the barrier higher. And here I made this mesh kind of thingy to feel rugged and things on the top. Here we will have a moat, which will the moat will be concrete on this side and probably concrete on this side. Ostrich would work. Yeah, I was thinking about emu, because emus aren't as tall as ostriches. And yeah, that's the plan for the desert pavilion. Then have an indoor viewing for the bigger quarter of the camels, and have a view at the indoor part for the scimitar horned oryx and for meerkats. And then do something better with the air conditioning system, because at this point it doesn't really make sense, and I wanted it to make sense. And I'm also thinking about making something to let the fennec fox out, because yeah, that's what happens. But they still have a pretty nice indoor area, if you ask me. So I want to embrace the construction here. I'm still not sure how to do that, but I'm probably going to do something like Christina and Haribo in the rebuild and make like a window that can be opened, but then we would need a mechanism to open it, like maybe a little lever. I've seen those, and that would be pretty nice. And then no windows on this side, probably some heat lamps hanging, and then a little tortoise enclosure. Yeah, tortoise, not turtle. Tortoise is the lamb thing. And yeah, I can show you what happened, because when I was building Desert Pavilion, I was doing it when Conservation Pack released. That was the last time I opened this file, and I was really struggling with this grass, because yeah, if you put it like this, you have many of those cattails, which I don't really like. And I came up with this method to take Triodia grass, not Triodia. What was that? Oh, that's a meerkat. Nice. To get the spiny head matras. Oh. And if you really use them in your advantage, I'm not using that very nicely now, but you can actually make this flawless. Yeah. Can make that flawless transition from the cattails to a normal looking lawn, which was a cool idea. But now when we have a buffalo grass, there is no need to use the old Conservation Pack grass, because we have this beauty, which is absolutely fantastic. And when you are building lawns, and they are more of a natural kind of lawn, you don't have to make it grass all under, because that doesn't really work like that. In real life, you have these soil patches from place to place, and when you do that and you look at it, it looks slightly more interesting first, but it also looks more realistic if you have some patches of ground soil and then have some patches of true grass picking. And yeah, I think that this new grass is a game changer, that's for sure. We also got this nice cable piece. Grasslands. We also got this nice cable piece which people use for... Okay, thank you for being here, Mr. White. Have a nice day. Yeah, for more vibrant builds, it looks really nice. And I've seen people using this as hot wire, and I must say I can see why. Yeah, it looks really nice. It's all about these small little changes that Frontier does to the game that make it playable. We can go for a metallic kind of color. Yeah, sure, something like that. Well, but I think I will still be using this method, because I'm not sure if it is still there, but I made this wall in a way that if you take it properly, you can get a singular piece of hot wire which yeah, which will allow us to make a nicely looking hot wire. And in the meerkat enclosure, and I think that's what we are going to build for now, where we'll be trying to make this place look as nice as we can, if we can. And I'm sure we can. Wow, Oryxes really enjoyed their messy little desert pavilion place of thingy. You know, I really feel motivated to play Planet Zoo, but then I'm not sure what to build, because we have so many cool projects going on. Like, we have Valby City Zoo, which I'm building with Mr. Zoof and Mr. Caesar Creates, and I would love to stream that one, but then we have I have a very nice enclosure that I want to share with you, and I don't want to spoil too much, you know? That's why we are going for Desert Pavilion tonight. Oh, and if you are new to Planet Zoo and you want to get a tip, like a little trick that might be useful for your Planet Zoo future, if you do something like these mats, like these thatch mats behind the actual enclosure, and when you really want to make them look as natural as possible, try to make them distinct, like try to make them different, change subtle things, change subtle details, make each of them individual. Even rotation helps. Like, you see, I'm taking this one, but this one is like 6 or 7 mats away from the original one, so it's not a big deal to copy it to this place and make it shine here, because you won't really see that they have been copied. Like, look, this mat will be sticking even above the fence, which is a unique trait across all the mats. And yes, Mr. Oki, I know it's more work, and I know it's a hassle, I know it's a pain, but in the end it's worth it if you want to make something look as good as Mr. Haribo's and Christina's work, like their latest project that is on Josh's YouTube. So if you haven't seen that episode yet, make sure you do. It's a big inspiration boost, and that's a true motivational video. Like, you know, there are people who train, maybe, but there are people who do culturistic, who do like gym and stuff, and they watch these motivational videos to stay in shape, to embrace their manhood, as they say, and they have these videos. And in Panju, that new YouTube series on Josh, his channel, will be this sort of a video, at least for me. It will be like a level to achieve. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Fodder. You get a different vine thingy feel. Everyone wants it. Yeah, sure. I like the feel. Like, it is old, it is cheap, but then you feel desert. Do you get what I mean? Like, is it to get? I'm not sure. But yeah, Broadwell Zoo and Gardens. See, I'm sorry for forgetting the name, but I'm not the name kind of guy. But yeah, if you want to see something as mind-blowing as Copenhagen project, I remember that name, then go and check that one out, because it's top tier. It's like all the Planet Zoo gods in one place. And then you see their work and feel like, yeah, I might delete half of my builds. But please do not delete your builds, because yeah, every build matters, and the progress is what really matters. This is all about the journey. Is that an in-game fence? Partially, yes. The chain link pieces, yes, they are. This is a fence actually, made with just Goron technique. So I will show it right now if you haven't seen it. So I hope just Goron doesn't see this and he doesn't shout at me that I do it wrong, because I will try my best to make it right. So you take two null barriers, then you take a normal barrier, then you move it to a null barrier, and then you are left with a barrier with no posts. And that's how I made those. Each of them is this sort of a null barrier thingy, and then I curve them with the option to curve top, and then I like do all kinds of shemming bang. Thank you, Mr. Haribo. That's really heartwarming. Oh my god, Mr. Goron is still here. Nice. I'm really happy that you all guys are here, like Mr. Haribo, Miss Christina, Mr. Goron, there was Mr. Roman there. Like, yeah, I feel really nice. So yeah, this was the answer to the question: is this a real in-game barrier? And then it is mounted to these structures, which are made out of Europe pack pieces and Australian rods, I guess. And then the chain link is like behind the poles, because that's how it is mounted in real life. And yeah, these are like the foundations which support the whole thing. And if you are ever doing foundations, in most cases they are made out of blocks that are already pre-made in the factory. When you have like a base for a barrier, it's not made with in situ technique, and in situ means that you make scaffolding out of like a base out of wood, and then you pour concrete inside, and it's not always a wooden scaffolding or a mold, let's call it a mold, but it is made out of different materials. But it would be pretty hard and not efficient to do it for a barrier, so we actually buy these brick parts, kind of shebang, and then you use them individually for each part of the fence. that's why you don't do this, because this looks like the in situ thing, but you actually put them like in a grading order to show that they are individual blocks and that you understand what's going on in there. And this is a little digression, but how do you differ whether something was made with in situ concrete or it was made in a factory, so it was a pre-made concrete block? Well, when you look at a building and it has these little circles in concrete, you know, like these circles that are like half a centimeter deep, something like that, that is the in situ method, because that is where the whole mold is connected to another mold or is held together. That is like one of the holding parts. And when you don't have those and the whole thing is seamless and yeah, the concrete doesn't have these circles, it was probably pre-made in a factory, which is a slightly more expensive business, but it's still there. Or it was done with a very good mold, but many architects crave for this circle effect, and it's oh, thank you, Christina. That's really nice of you. And I can say that I'm doing this that this works in two ways, like in both ways, because last time when I was doing gardening in Valby City Zoo, I looked a ton at your pictures and Mr. Haribo's also, because the thing that you did in Broadwell, yeah, that was simply amazing, and I wanted to achieve that level of foliage, which I couldn't achieve, but maybe one day I will get there. And I hope you will stream one day also, because I would love to see how you use pieces and how I can implement these techniques in my own builds. So I hope that things that you will learn from this stream will be how to differ in situ concrete from pre-made concrete blocks. You will learn something about Doric order and how these columns were constructed in ancient Greece and ancient Rome. And I hope you will learn how to draw a robot with terrain tools in Planet Zoo. So that are the must-haves after today's stream, at least for me. So is Mr. Just Goron here still with me? If he is, please answer the question. Would free build allow me to get the terrain even closer to the path and get rid of these naughty little slopes? Or wouldn't that be possible and I would need to find a different method for this? Hello, Mr. Alex. Hello. Nice. I'm sorry, there is a delay, so I'm seeing things with... You are hearing things with a delay, and I'm seeing things... saying things with a delay. Okay, so the answer is yes. Okay, so I'm going to install free builds after this this streaming session, really. Okay, thank you. Okay, sure. That's great. Yeah, that would be actually really helpful, because the distance here slightly bothers me, but I think we can manage. I hope so, at least. So yeah, thank you, Mr. Just Goron. I'm thinking about the mode here, because I want it to look communist enough, yet slightly animal friendly, but only slightly, because we don't care about animals in this game. No, I'm joking. And I'm thinking I think we should go with the thing I thought about for the camels. Oh, that would be really helpful, Mr. Goron. I will make sure to contact you as soon as I find time to install it. And remember that you offered this to me, and please don't see me as an annoying Polish dude. Okay, we are going for concrete. So we are looking for a dirty concrete that is dirty as of a base piece. The new Mane-sion work, it kinda looks like a good concrete if you use the good ones. This one meets my requirements. Can they really, Mr. Fodor? Can they really escape from these enclosures? Okay. Does this look weathered enough? No. This. Yeah, this one would be okay, but it's too thick. Yeah, these ones are cool. We also have this variant, and we could probably use this one, but this one has these little cracks here. Well, we can also think about those. Yeah, I have tried building decals on the concrete, but I want just a nice base piece that looks weathered as it is. But then we can add decals, yes, sure. And the last thing I was experimenting with when it comes to decals and concrete was making like the concrete actually, let's say mossy, and then getting decals, and they are here, and then using decals, I think these ones, yeah, sure, making them like concrete color, so it's slightly, it really depends on concrete. You can even have blue concrete if you want. You can use like different substances, dyes, as in Minecraft, to make dyed concrete, and you can even do it in real life. You can order dyed concrete if you feel like your project needs a dyed concrete portion. But I don't know why would anyone do that, yet people do that, so that's actually amazing. It is just a very quick explanation of my idea, because you know with decals you can't really go that close to the edge, and you need to improvise in many cases. Sure. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I see these Mirkas flying, and I'm slightly overwhelmed with their presence. Yeah, this doesn't sell my idea, but if it is done right, I guess it will look okay. That it, you know, it's the water did its job on the top, you know. It made this calcium slightly darker things on the top, that it was dropping drop by drop, and it was taking the fresh concrete color which all people crave. Thank you, Mr. Irun, but I'm not a professor yet. Give me 15 years when I finish my uni, get my doctor's degree, and then ask President of Poland to give me my professor's title. But yeah, thank you for being here. So yeah, this would be my idea, if we really decided on that idea. Maybe we have something in the graveyard. Pom 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 pom. Bushes. Oh, I have a question. So, does anyone want this fence? I made this fence some time ago because I saw it in one of the zoos, I think, and I kinda liked it, but like in the zoo. But then I made it in Planet Zoo, and but then yeah, like if you put foliage behind it, like custard apple tree, let's say, it looks better because there are none of these things. Yeah, I made this fence. I made this fence because yeah, I saw these branch fences and I was kinda happy about it for some time, but now I'm not, and maybe someone wants this fence. I can totally give it and I don't have a problem with it, with giving it away. So if you want this fence, hit me up. Each one is slightly changed. As you can see, this one is not the same as this one. The branches here are not the same as on this one. Yeah. So yeah, if someone wants, hit me up. I like this. This is my favorite. Oh, have you ever seen that the cables here are like the mesh is actually connected to the cables which are connected to the whole structure? That's literally a realism touch. Learn realism with leader. Bam bam bam. So if anyone wants this fence, make sure to download download Desert Pavilion file that is on the workshop, and you can actually steal from it. Not steal, but gently borrow. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. You know, there is this one fence. I believe it's called stone fence. Yeah, this one. Look, it has one of the best textures in the whole game. Maybe it's me, maybe it's my eyes, maybe it is because I need to use a telescope in order to use my screen because I have faulty eyes. But this texture, yeah, I mean, if we got concrete blocks with this texture, I would be, I don't know, it would be mind-blowing. And unfortunately we can't do much about it. I mean, we can use it like that, but then we have the squares. And the best way to use them, if you want to use that texture, is to go like this, rotate this, and yeah, something like this. Something like this would be optimal, because this looks yeah, this looks like a curve, but this actually looks nice. And if you want to get rid of that, you probably would need to make something like that. We would probably need to merge them by slightly rotating it, and if we slightly rotate it, this, yeah, see, it merges, and then we can also slightly rotate it like this. I really like the lo-fi music by the way. Oh, see? And now it's nearly perfectly merged. It takes time, but you can make bigger blocks this way. Yeah, sure. Once upon a time someone asked me how it is to be leader, and I told him, yeah, it's painful. And now, after this stream, I hope everyone understands that my job is no easy, and that's why the videos are every 13 months, not every week. Because that's kinda how I work. See, we can make a seamless texture with this method, if we can call it a method. I guess we can. Sure, it will be rising and it will be curvy. Yes, I'm afraid, I'm aware, I'm all these nice words, but at the same time I don't give a damn. Because if we can achieve a nice looking concrete pedestal for an enclosure just by doing this and getting the best texture in the game to really shine and pop out and stand out, well, that's what I call a win-win situation. Yeah, see, there is a difference between this and the standard concrete texture, or it is me, but it looks like a weathered concrete, which, oh, that also looks nice. That gives me an idea for a building. So yeah, we would go surface, I guess. So if anyone is wondering, hey, how this guy builds? Yes, that's that's how I build. But I hope no one is wonders that, because yeah, that would be a waste of your time. Okay. This one has more what color to it? Blue, I guess. No, it's red actually. More red. Yeah, I'm not very good at color theory. Normal concrete in game. Okay, we are going to discuss the concrete. We are going to discuss the issue. Okay, we are going to discuss the issue. Okay. So now, can you see the difference? I mean, for me, for me at least, there is a difference, and the one on the left looks older. Let's be honest. It looks more weathered, or maybe it's just me, but I have this feeling that you don't see the difference. Well, the difference is for sure on the edges. This one has textured edges which don't give this very sleek and sharp edge as on the normal concrete. That's first thing. The second thing is that this concrete has way more different colored patches. As you can see, we have darker browns, we have grays, lighter grays, which we do not have as many of those in here. This one also looks yeah, like if you see this one is definitely older, because this one looks as these bubbles from the mold probably. Yeah, there is a difference, like even from the distance. Here you can see the difference. See, Miss Christina agrees with me. Oh my god, that's heartwarming. Yeah, the only big difference that, like the main perk of this thing on the right is that it contains less pieces. Yeah, I can see this as a perk. But at the same time, yeah, I would do anything for this. No, Mr. Photo, you totally should go to an architecture school. Like, I don't think that seeing a difference in concrete in Pavilion is a factor that should influence your go or not go to architecture school. Like, sure, we'll use the newer concrete here because yeah, let's just say I don't want to do the same. But yeah, it will be also covered in dirt, so it will be a whole different story. Like, you know what the architecture, as you call it, school taught me? Well, it taught me that there are two different versions of concrete, and it is in situ, and yeah, and now I forgot. It's in situ and yeah, you know, the prefabricated one. That's all I have heard. No, but seriously, it's a great experience. I mean, at first I didn't think I was meant to be an architect, seeing all the people there, because you know, everyone was like high scores and everything. But now, after actually being there and after actually studying, I must say that the dean said that and like maybe not the dean, let's just say that the people that ran the project I was participating in said that my work was a work of a true adult architect, and that was kind of heartwarming. But I don't think like so. Maybe that project was something else than the things that I do in Pavilion. Maybe that. But as for Pavilion, I don't see my builds to be top tier, top notch, something very high style. If there is a demand for that, because we are going to actually end this stream in a moment or two. If anyone wants to stay and to hear about my final project for the term that I did recently, we can do it here on stream, or if there is if there isn't a large demand here on YouTube, we can always move to Discord. I can show you the whole thing there. Like, what is great about Pavilion community is that you can be that there is nothing stopping you from being on the biologist side, and nothing is stopping you from being on the architecture side. It's just, yeah, it's just whatever you like. This game is made for everyone, and maybe isn't made for every project you ever desired, although some people prove that it is. And I'm not going to give names here, but the people I'm referring to are in the chat. But yeah, it's just amazing to see what people can achieve in Banjo. Yeah, it's okay. So oh, hello, Mr. Dash Lion. It's nice to see you. So we are going to probably go for 3 levels. 3 or 4 maybe. Yeah, we'll think about it. Let's now go for 3, which will be changed. Okay, I already like the look. It's a plus, but we'll fix that. And then we will have kinda shallow water here. Sure. Which will be desert pavilion-y. Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, it's drinking time, guys. It's drinking time. And we are going to do decals just to show the idea. And we are going to use the colors we have here. Something like that, but then we would need more moss on the sides, and I think we would use the mossy rocks, although yeah, they are nice because they have this texture that changes. I don't know whether you have ever seen it, but it's okay. It's a cool thing. I think we could use it in our advantage. Well, no, I have never, I must say, I have never done moss in Pavilion. So it will be a nice challenge for me to actually try and make a mossy looking moss in Pavilion. Well, yeah, okay. So this will continue throughout the whole place. So we'll have it like this, and then it will curve here. We'll have a tiki shelter here, something like the tiki shelter, just thing that has a thatch roof on it. And then a concrete moat here. This will look even dirtier, because it is supposed to look dirty. And the final stage, it will be like the stage for the antelopes. Will be this, then we will add the ground here, something like this, and then we'll go with buffalo grass, something like this probably, and then we'll make it slightly, okay, that is just a vision, we'll make it slightly overgrown. Does it? Yeah, does it sound nice? I think so. It sounds like a plan, that's for sure. Sure. It's not too steep for the animals. I know ungulates can traverse things like such because they did in zoos. It will give us the communist feeling that we want to achieve in this place, and it will also give us a natural barrier like between us and the animals. Yeah, that's actually amazing. Mr. Fodor, no. Why? Because because it was tested in many zoos. Like in places like Warsaw Zoo, they still have similar things, like these slopes, and not only for oryxes, because they have this for oryxes. And I'm not talking about stairs, I'm talking about slopes on which the animals walk. But we also have those for the Nile Lechwe, and American bison. Oh, and also for zebras or zebras. Why do we want communist feeling? Because it is supposed to be a communist styled building, because it's like this architecture of this building is slightly influenced by the architecture of communists and the times when Poland was part of the Soviet Union. So that's why we are going for more of an old enclosure kind of vibe, because it still works. And if it works, why do we want to make it not work? You know? Yeah, because it's Polish. I completely agree with this statement. So yeah, this was a very unproductive stream. I must say that. It was a very unproductive stream, and now you don't see anything. That's why we are going to go once again to a PowerPoint slideshow. We are going to end with these pictures, maybe not these, but we are going to end with the nice terrarium pictures. So maybe we didn't do anything for the main tools, but next time we will, and that's for granted, that's for sure. I can keep my promise, it will be a pinky promise. But for now, yeah, you learned about columns, communism, mounting planks to the wall, and all the useful stuff. And I'm not sure. Okay, you are now seeing the terrarium. Yeah, next stream we'll have a whole floor plan for the place, and before starting to build I will actually let you through the process of designing it. I will do a little nicer slideshow. And yeah, I hope to see you all next week, and if you want to hear something, a little something about my latest project that I did for the oh my god, I can't speak, for the first semester at University of Technology in Warsaw, faculty architecture, you can always write to me. We can schedule a meeting on Discord, and then I can talk you through that process, which is like a more of a professional thing, because this is like an amateur designing. So yeah, once again, thank you all for being here, thank you all for being here with me, thank you Fini and Fane for moderating, thank you Christina and Haribo and Mr. Romano and Mr. just Goran for being here, for supporting me, and for being such an awesome people and such awesome content creators and builders. And thank you to Fowler, thank you to Oki, thank you to Ro, thank you to Birini, thank you to Luke was here, thank you to everyone who was on this stream, and I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you next